guys, Rex here. We're taking a look at the Andro Corp Industries. This is their little AR 16-inch barrel that is set up for the budget user. This is actually something I grabbed from the hardware store over the counter. It was like $699 or something like that, really affordable. And I was surprised how well it worked. I got it because of its configuration. I actually wanted something really streamlined, low form factor, lightweight, and affordable that would perform well. So this had, I asked them, hey, you got anything with the 16-inch barrel that's a light contour barrel with the tight twist? Because I use heavy bullets. And so they got a real light contour 1 7-inch twist. It's a 5.56 millimeter chamber. 1 7 twist for like 77 grain OTMs and 62 SS 109 M855 like I use. And it has a little bit of rail section up front here, and for the front sight, right? And so the rest is your MLOK. So this actually keeps it a lot more sleek and less snaggy. So you just have this for your sight up here, and then you can attach more rail section into the MLOK. We got MLOK on top, on the sides, and on the bottom, right? And so I put Streamlight VIR on there. I'm still messing with this. It's got your visible light, right? And you have IR mode with the laser, IR laser. Pretty slick, it's small, and it works, and it's affordable. And then I put on a little quick detach. This is a BCM, quick detach steel for the sling. Running a VTAC on here. And we put on the primary arms 1 to 8. This is the Silver Series scope, which is significantly smaller and lighter. And in a lot of ways, I like it for a setup like this. I wanted to grab something for the wife. She's been running my Colt M4 for a long time. She used to have the Trijicon TA31 on there. We switched over to the primary arms micro prism in a 3-power. I don't know if they have that out yet or not. I've been testing it for quite a while. Cool little scope. But this one is a, low power variable optic in 1 to 8, 30 millimeter tubes. So it's not quite as big and honky as the 34 millimeter. It has covered scope turrets. So you just got your caps, like normal caps, right? This works good enough to get it zeroed, and this is in the Griffin mill. So I got it tuned up right now for 36 yard zero with 77 grainers. And it's got the mill grid pattern reticle in there, Griffin mill, okay? And it's lightweight compared to some of the bigger stuff that I like to use. And it's streamlined with this little Aero Precision mount, pretty streamlined. It's always a balancing act of exactly how you want to have stuff set up. If I wanted to run 45s, a guy could, theoretically, but I was trying to keep it simple and sleek and conventional over-the-counter type deal, okay? If you are going to have an optic attached like this without quick throw levers, I actually have a lot of real high-end quick throw lever stuff that I did not put on this particular setup because of snag points. For a rifle that's coming in and out of the car a lot, and for her especially, I like to have it be slick and sleek. And I don't plan on using those backups, but they are zeroed. They've got a nice fine zero on them. In case you do have to take out the scope, it'll take you 30 seconds to get the scope off, okay? But I like the rifle setup. It's got a standard A2 grip, standard mil-spec trigger, standard cheap buttstock, works fine, okay? Rex, I don't like how it feels. Would you guys stop with the feelings on how stuff feels? It works good. The A2 is actually totally fine for most of what you're going to do. It's actually, there's a reason for the tilt on it and stuff like that. I like, it's, again, when you're talking about footprint and snag points, some kind of big rubbery type deal, man, I don't know. It gets stuck on your clothes, it gets stuck on your gear, it gets stuck on, you're trying to pull it across. And if you got a jacket or a coat over it and you pull that off, stuff gets stuck to there. I don't know if you ever move around with a lot of weapons. And some of the other stuff is fine for other applications. But for rifle that you're using all the time, I like the standard, whatever, furniture, doesn't matter, okay? This shot a lot better than I was thinking. It was kind of a gamble. I spent my own money on it. I don't know these guys from Adam. I have no idea. I know they're out of Florida. It says it on there. So I didn't know. And with a light contour barrel like this, very lightweight barrel, it's actually a mid-length gas system. So it's nicely balanced for a 16-inch barrel, especially if I'm going to run a can on here. You know, a carbine gas system would be pretty robust, pretty stout, which is fine in the wintertime when it gets really dirty. But like, I think a mid-length is a nice gas system for this kind of rifle. And I said a 15-inch handguard here, and it's low profile, light, and it has a 0.75-inch low profile gas block here with the 2 screws in the bottom. It's kind of centered in there. It's a little off. You can see it's just off to this side a little bit. But it works, man, and it's shot good. So I was, for the last 8 months, going through all my different rifles like this, trying to just kind of like, all right, where am I actually going to keep my zero now? Because with my job, I'm always testing optics, different equipment, changing stuff around all the time. And so I had to go back through everything, reconfirm where I'm at, standardize my system for the new batches of ammo I got in. So I had to like re-verify with that ammo and then write everything on the weapon, right? So I can know where I'm at. Because if you got too much stuff, it's hard to keep track of. If you watch the rifle tips on Patreon, we're going to get into some tips on how to keep that all straight as well, too. There's a lot of easy stuff you can do, okay? But it's shot good. It's shot actually, this cheap rifle with a skinny little barrel on there, shot just as good as my Midwest Industries or my BCM. Shot just as good as the Colts. Actually, maybe a little bit better than some of those rifles. It shot a little better than the BCM in terms of precision. I don't know. Cheap rifle. Shot, I mean, and that's not just like a group. That's, I usually spend 500 rounds trying to make sure everything's settled in just for a zero. Because like when they're brand new and fresh, stuff has to kind of slam into place. Everything has to kind of find its equilibrium, not just the bore. It's really, that's just one small part of it, but everything's kind of got to work itself in. And you have to do that over a variety of different conditions too. Hot, cold, wet, not wet, darker, lighter, sun over here, no sun, ambient lighting. So you end up shooting a lot when you want to make sure you got a real zero for something you're actually going to use in real life and to get used to the weapon. So I got some rounds that I finally ended up giving it the rattle can treatment, okay? For those, this came in black, real dark. I think it's a QPQ finish, real black. And I rattle canned it. I don't even know what color. I don't know if it's Krylon or Rust-Oleum. I have no idea. I just grabbed stuff off the shelf, which I got a mix of. Rattle canned it. It's fine, okay? But it's shot good. Again, I got to add 36, reconfirm at different distances to see where it's hitting at different distances. And it shoots very consistently well. I like it. It's really handy. It's really light. I'm probably going to end up, because it's now actually really cold out. And when you're walking around in the cold, there's some things you can add to these to like make sure your face doesn't freeze to it, or make sure that you can still operate it in extreme cold weather. So there's some cosmetic stuff I'll do. I'll put that stuff on Patreon as well. It's going to go on my rifle tips, I think, series, kind of how to do that stuff. I'm moving most of my tutorial stuff over to that platform. I'll leave a link below. But this thing, I like it. I mean, it's shot perfectly fine for what we're going to use it for. And I don't know if there's a lot I would add in terms of the system. I mean, people, what would they ask about, I suppose? So in terms of precision performance, it was right up there. I mean, 10 shots on a thumbnail, pretty much every time at 36. At 100, it's like right in there at 1.5 minutes with like M855. So shoots just as good as a carbine with that ammo. With 77s, it shot a bit better, shot pretty darn good and consistently. It didn't have anything weird happen. I didn't have any malfunctions. It has the M4 feed ramps. It has a standard M16 profile bolt carrier group in here. So I got this. The finish on the bolt is kind of shiny. They got their little emblem on there, but everything is nicely put together. Seems like it's working fine. The trigger is your mil-spec trigger. So here's my trigger review real quick. Okay, you ready for this, guys? So basically we have the first stage. Feels like a first stage trigger, okay? And then you have a second stage, and then it clicks, and then boom. That's my review. It's a mil-spec trigger. Like, I don't know what kind of, it functions properly, right? Is it super sweet? Define super sweet. I want this to go boom every time, regardless of how dirty or cold it is. Up here, fancy triggers, not super reliable. Mil-spec triggers work good when it's like 40 or 50 below. You get a full primer strike. It hits a firing pin with full authority at the full weight springs. When I'm wearing mittens or gloves, I can feel it before it goes off, which is nice for trigger control, right? And so I actually like a mil-spec trigger for most of the stuff that I'm doing with it. But yeah, I mean, it seems like a good, solid rig. I'm going to change the furniture on here, at least for a little while. I'm going to try out some new stuff I got from Fab Defense because that's my job. But I'd be totally happy with the normal furniture. However, with the scope, I'm going to see how some of that other stuff works. So I will be using this rifle for some other reviews of other stuff. And it works good, man. So if you need something that's cheap, so $699 plus, what are these damn things now? These Magpul sights are like $73 if you get both of them right. Plus whatever this Aero Precision, they're not that bad. And the primary arms 1-8 Silver Series is actually kind of affordable. Like I think 500-ish first focal plane, you know, 30 millimeter scope. I like these scope caps, especially for her truck rifle, because I don't want this getting spun around in there. I don't need it adjusting. I need it to be exactly where I put it and it doesn't move. It's all in the reticle. And so if it's all in the reticle, caps are awesome. Plus, if I drop it on stuff, it's not landing right on the internal erector or the control group, right? So it's not screwing up your threads on your screws. And it has illumination, right? So yeah, it's a good solid rig, man. And I'll do a further review here real soon on this primary arms optic. I don't think I've done one on this one yet, have I? It's cool. I like it. I would probably buy a lot of these for all my different stuff. The Griffin is so flexible. It's a mil-based system. You just got your mil scale reticle. You got dots. It's not, if you crank it down to 1 power, you still have a visible aiming point. If it's illuminated, it basically seems like a red dot on 1 power. It's real clear. You know, it's not a bad deal. Absolutely. Works totally fine for me, man. So yeah, I just wanted to show that to you cats because you were wondering probably how it's doing. I think I mentioned that I was getting into this. I still have the review on the IWI back here, the Zion 15, and a few more rifles back here that I am still working out the bugs on. This one was quick and easy because it basically worked normal right away. No hang-ups, no malfunctions, so I didn't get to really have to tear into any of that stuff. But yeah, not a bad setup, man. It works fine. Am I going to upgrade the charging handle? Nah, probably not. Am I going to upgrade a lot of this other stuff? No, it's good. It's good how it is. I have so much muscle memory of the standard platform that I would be almost silly to start mixing it up more than that. Plus, the standard platform is configured for the kind of shooting I do, which is like less than ideal environmental conditions, in a hurry, trying to shoot live real targets. So with all those things in mind, the standard setup that's been around since like 1965 or whatever, right, is evolved a little bit, but that general setup seems to work fine for those applications. All right, that's what I got on this little Andro Corp Industries So if you know anyone who's looking for a rifle, or if you're looking for something affordable like this deal, I don't know where they're sold. I found it here. There is a thing to be said as well for Charlie Victor 19er situation going on the last 2 years, okay? I didn't say the actual thing. There's Charlie Victor 19er, okay? When states like shut down, other states that have that are assembling these rifles, different kinds, right? I don't know what happens to their quality control measures, but I've been seeing weird stuff in rifles in the last 2 years. Like really, really horrific, terrible quality control issues. And so I'll talk about that one on Patreon. I'm not going to put that here because I can speak more freely on Patreon about what I think's going on with that. But this one being made in Florida, where basically they kind of plowed right through that without any real hiccups, seems to prove my case that, hey, when you let everyone continue to have their job and work and the professional skill sets are not lost, and you don't have to hire like some dude off the street to like fill in for some machinist job or whatever, stuff stays good. So maybe that's why this thing turned out so good. I mean, it shoots real good. So, all right, that's it for now, guys. Rex out.